Hello everyone, I am Will, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered. Yep. Last we left off, we did Sen's Fortress, or Sen's Funhouse, as I like to call it. Yep. Started off at the bonfire in the undead parish above Andre. Went across. I was hoping to talk to Siegmeyer, but he went inside already. So yeah, so he wasn't outside anymore. He was inside. Encountered our first trap and our first serpent men. Yeah. Not too bad. Luckily, a parry riposte with our I think we used the Uchi Katana. Parry riposte, one shot. That was pretty nice. So we just kind of dip, dodge, ducked and dodge again. Passes through the serpent men, over the traps, around the swinging blades. And then we came upon the ball trap. Yep, the little ball mechanism trap thing. Yep. Found a ring of steel protection, and then we found Siegmeyer. He's inside. He was perplexed. I don't quite know what the word to use, but he couldn't quite figure out a way to get past the balls in his heavy armor. So, yeah. It did find a shuttle above him, which I thought you can only get from Shiva, but apparently there is actually another one inside the Sen's Fortress. So now we have two. We did fall to our deaths. Yep. One of the Supermen by Siegmeyer. I was trying to clear him out before we talked to him, but I accidentally rolled off the edge. So, gravity, a leading cause of death in Souls games. So we made our way back to Siegmeyer, talked to him, continued through the Sen's Fortress, found the little elevator of doom or death. Yeah, the one that it doesn't immediately stop. It'll stop at the top, and then it'll keep going up to some ceiling spikes. So if you don't get off quick enough, you're gonna get spiked in the head. And I'm not sure if it's a instant death or if it does a lot of damage, but I don't want to find out. Found the Black Sorcerer set. Encountered our first Mimic. Yep. He dropped the lightning infused spear. So it's a very good weapon. I mean, well, it's not the best, but it's definitely usable. But we won't be using it, so we'll just keep it in our back pocket. Yep. And continued through the ball mechanism trap. Used it to open up a passage to where they were holding Big Cat Logan in a cell. Yep. So we opened up all the cells in that little passageway using the master key, because apparently the master key unlocks all those cells down there. So we freed Big Cat Logan, grabbed a hero soul, went back up to the ball trap mechanism, used it to kind of break open a wall and fill in a hole so we can get to the gold covetous serpent ring. Yep. A very good ring to have if you definitely want to farm some items off enemies, because it doubles your discovery rate. So if you have 10 of humanity and the gold covetous serpent ring, your discovery rate will be increased by 4 times. So yeah, definitely recommend it if you want to especially stock up on humanity or upgrade materials. So, which I will probably do eventually. Well, as we play anyway. I just like having some of that stuff in my pocket. Yep. Continue back to the ball trap. Made our way up. Well, I'm trying to think. No, actually, the first thing, before we continued up in the Sen's Fortress, we actually went back down into the little tar pit area. Yep. Well, we found the slumbering dragon crest ring, which mutes our sound, makes us mute or soundless. Muffles our sound, I'll say that. And then from there we dropped down to the little tar pit, where we took on the Titanite demons, or as the game file calls them the Prowling Demons, but they're just going to call them Titanite Demons. There's 4 of them down there. The first 2 are the easier of the 2. One of them was guarding the game calls it a scythe, but it's a bardiche. It's basically like a long haft axe halberd kind of thing. But so we took care of those 2 Titanite demons. They dropped their Titanite chunks, demon Titanite. Then we went on to fight the other 2 Titanite demons. They're the tricky ones. They're also the stronger of the 2. Use the Ring of Fog to kind of hopefully get just one-on-one, but it did get us. I did die to it because I rolled the wrong direction. My advice in Dark Souls: dodge into the swing. If the attack is going from your left to your right, you dodge left, just to minimize, contact. So, but I foolishly rolled into the attack, so I got clipped, and then I got hit again for some reason. So I think it was like a double hit for some reason. Yep. So we ran back down to the tar pit, took care of that Titanite demon, slapped on the covetous gold ring, took on the last of the Titanite demons, and it was lucky enough to drop us its weapon, the Titanite catch bowl. So maybe might use it. I don't know. Maybe later. We'll see. But we got lucky getting that drop. Yep. Came out of the pit, found this illusory wall that leads to the giant that opened the gate for us. We gave him our thanks. He gave us a Titanite chunk, and then continued up Sen's Fortress. Past the ball traps, past some more serpent men, made it to the roof, where we did a drop down to the secret bonfire up on the roof. And then after that, we came back onto the roof, immediately went to the giant guy who was throwing the giant pots. He's priority target number 1, just so we don't have to deal with those giant pots again. And then we cleared out the roof. There's 3 boulder soldiers. One of them was a crossbow guy. Found the fireplate ring. Found the sniper crossbow. Encountered a Night Berenique who respawns. And then we encountered who I believe is Prince Ricard. Yep. Who luckily didn't give us too much trouble because of our pyromancies. He was guarding Rare Ring of Sacrifice and a Divine Blessing. And we got his rapier from him. So that's pretty good. Nice little haul. Went back, jumped across to the other giant, stopped the ball trap, went down, tried to go back to Siegmeyer, but he moved on once you take care of the giant with the ball trap, I think he moves on. Or he moves on his own eventually. Went back up, hopped across a broken bridge, met the crestfallen knight who's up there, who's a pretty good merchant. Sells Katarina armor, steel armor, boulder armor, some weapons, large shards, black firebomb, green blossoms, some of the good stuff. And the other plate rings, the magic plate and the thunder plate ring. So, yep. And at the bottom of his tower was the cell key, which we could have used to open up the cage that Big Cat Logan was in, but again, Master Key did that. Went back out, unlocked the shortcut, which required the cage key. And then we summoned Iron Knight Tarkus. Yep. Good old Black Knight Tarkus. Yeah, because then we took on the boss of the fortress, the Iron Golem. And Tarkus helped us take that down pretty quickly. Yeah, he didn't last very long. So, unfortunately, we didn't get him to fall off the edge, but it's okay. And that was it. Yep, that was it. All of Sen's Fortress. And between episodes, I did farm the Night Berenique for sure, as well as the 2 boulder soldiers up there. Mainly for the steel armor and the weapon drops. but also that Nightbearer Neek does drop large shards pretty regularly, especially if you have the gold silver ring, the gold serpent ring, and 10 humanity. He drops large shards pretty commonly. So I farmed him for a bit just for the armor. Took the souls, went and bought the Katarina armor set from the Crestfallen Knights. Came down here, bought almost all of Logan's spells. There's one more left I have to get, which I'll probably do here in a moment. I didn't buy any armor from Donald because I don't want his armor just yet. And I'm trying to think of what else we did. I upgraded some weapons. The barbed straight sword I upgraded. Some armors I upgraded. I don't think I added any levels. I don't think I leveled up yet. Yeah, that was it. Farmed for some large shards, upgraded some weapons and armors, bought some spells, bought some armors. The usual housekeeping stuff. And for today, we're going up to Anor Londo. Yep. Try and do at least the first half of it anyway, until we at least try to get to the painting. So, painted world. So that's going to require a lot of running, dealing with some royal sentinels, is what the game calls them, but they're just giant sentinels. But a lot of running, sentinels, some more gargoyles, well, at least the last 2 gargoyles anyway. And probably some rafter shenanigans with the painting guardians. That's going to be fun. I have a feeling I'm going to fall to my death a few times up there. Yeah, the rafters is always a fun spot. And then probably hop into the painted world. At least that's the plan for today. We'll see how far we get. This is going to be a lot of running because Anor Londo is a big place with not a lot to it. Big open space, pretty empty for the most part. But yep. And equipment for today, starting off with the barbed straight sword plus 10. I'm curious to see how well it does against the sentinels because it does do bleeding, and the sentinels are susceptible to bleed. So hopefully it should, hopefully be okay. We'll change it up if it doesn't go as well as I hope. But for now, barbed straight sword plus 10, pyromancy flame, iron round shields, catalyst, the best one we have so far. Got my eastern sack. Yeah, the sack plus 3, should probably upgrade that. Eastern armor, black sorcerer gloves. Although it's gauntlets, even though it's just gloves. And elite knight legging. Yeah, I kind of like this little setup. Got the Havel ring so I don't fat roll. And Chlorithny ring for now. I'll probably change this out as needed. But for now, just extra stamina recovery is probably going to help a lot. Here are the stats. Should be the same as last time. Spells I currently have: Great Combustion, Great Soul Arrow, probably add another copy of that, and Magic Weapon. Because you can buff the Barbed Straight Sword. So hopefully that'll help out against the Sentinels, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright. Shall we do it? Let's get to it. First things first, I'm going to buy out the last of Logan's spells, and I think he might have some dialogue. I don't know. We'll find out.
Hello there. What have you been up to? I thought that perhaps you'd gone hollow on me. So have you come to further your study of sorcery?
Well, yes, we have. The last one you got.
I will stay here for the time being. Speak to me again to further your knowledge.
Alright, so I don't think he has anything more. Yeah, he won't move until we open up until we place the Lord Vessel.
Oh, hello. I appreciate the attention, but that will serve.
Alright. Okay, we don't want any of that.
Goodbye then. Do stay
safe. Okay. Okay. I think we're good for now. Yeah. Alright. Oh, don't want to go this way. Alright, let's go up. Time to ascend into Anor Londo. Alright. I wasn't sure if Logan had more dialogue. That's kind of why I started there. If If I knew he didn't have any, I would start back up at Sen's Fortress, but oh well. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. If I knew Logan didn't have dialogues, again, I would have started here, but I wasn't 100% sure. Alright. Shall we ascend, examine, ring of light? Welcome to Anor Londo, City of the Gods. Yep. You can actually go back down. If you want to go back down, just turn around, talk to this guy, and he'll take you down. So it's not a one-way trip. Yeah, it took me like 2 playthroughs to figure that out. So, yeah, these guys are Batwing demons. And now I see the resemblance. Yeah, the Demon Prince boss in the Dark Souls 3 DLC definitely looks like one of these guys. Yep. Okay. Anyway, Anor Londo. Very Alright, there's the spiral bridge. And there's the gargoyle. There's a gargoyle anyway. The other one's on the other side of the bridge. And here's a royal sentinel. They actually, as long as you don't get too close to them, they won't aggro. But if you get close to them, then they'll start attacking. So you just gotta. So if you don't want to fight them, just stay away from them. But we're gonna fight them. I want to see what our damage is like. Pretty bad. There's the bleed. Actually, not that bad. Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, 1,500 souls. Yeah, that's a lot. And they do respawn, so it's actually not a bad place to soul farm if you want. Yeah, just keep in mind that their shield will block all damage if you hit it. So, just be careful. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Okay, that's doable. That's doable. I think they can drop their weapon, their shield, I believe. I think they can drop their weapon, their shield. I was thinking if the barbed sword wasn't going to work out, I was going to go to my Boulder side sword. Ow, yeah. Yeah, Shield Slam has a lingering hitbox, so just be careful. There we go. That's actually pretty good. We'll stick to it. Here's a chest. Curled away, so it's safe to open. Demon Titanite, we'll definitely take it. And here's Dragon Slayer Ornstein. At least that's how I pronounce it. There is a few ways to pronounce it. Ornstein, Ornstein, but I'll call it Ornstein. Yep. And on the other side will be a statue of Executioner Smo. Or Smog, or how you want to pronounce it, but I just call it Smo. Alright, before that, we're going to hitch here. Got bonfire already lit, which means it's a Firekeeper bonfire. And here's the Firekeeper.
Well, you are a rare visitor. Welcome to the lost city of Anor Londo, chosen undead. If you seek Lord Gwyn's old keep, exit here and head straight yonder. If you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. What follows thereafter depends upon you.
Like how she first calls us the chosen undead, and then like the next line is say, if you are indeed the chosen one. So, are we or are we not? Yeah. Very, very interesting lore behind all this. Short answer is no. Short answer is yes. We're chosen because we're able to do it. Yeah. So, talk.
What is it? What am I? Well, I am the keeper of the bonfire. If not for me, what beacon would there be in this lost city? A gatekeeper and a guide. That is my calling.
Well, there's more to it than that, lady. And this is the lost city of Anor Londo. Yeah, it's been abandoned. But we'll see that. I'll rip the mask off it eventually, but not right now.
The bonfires attended by the keepers are special. They are linked to one another, and their flames never die. Yet never shall the keepers of these flames meet.
The flames never die, yet the keepers shall not meet. Although that's not entirely true, the flames can perish when the keeper perishes, but... yeah.
If you require rest, now is the time. That is, after all, what the bonfire is for.
Bonfire is for rest.
If you require rest,
Okay.
that is...
Yeah, she can increase Estus recovery, but we don't have a soul. I'm gonna rest here. Do I want to kindle this fire? Not this one, no. Not this one. Alright. Well, actually, while we're here, let's gain a level. Okay, so I do need, I think, 20 faith and 20 intelligence in order to wield the Artorius' greatsword. It's like 24 strength, I think 18 dexterity, 20 faith, 20 intelligence. So I do want to put some points into faith, especially get to 18 just so I can use the Homeward Miracle. It's very convenient to have, especially if you want to, again, farm for items or in upgrades. So I'm tempted to do that, but I don't know if I want to do it just yet. Could go some more stamina, some more health, more damage. I need a lot of levels. I guess for right now we'll... Alright, we'll aim for 25 health. How about that? 25 vitality is our current goal. Alright. Yeah, I need a lot of levels. Nor do I want. Again, I did spend like 300,000 upgrading our Pyromancy Flame, but definitely worth it, though. Definitely worth it. Alright, so we have some more. And his shield blocks all damage, so we gotta be careful. Definitely want to try and get behind him if you can. There we go. Just check and see if they drop anything. Alright. Oop. Come on. Get out of the doorway. Thank you. Alright. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright. This way will take us to the Duke's Archives up there. That's Duke's Archives. But the door is sealed. I'll go show you. There's no enemies up here, so it's just, you just walk up here, you see the golden archway, and it's like, nope, sealed by the Great Lord's power. Yep, here's the golden fog. See a brilliant light, sealed by the Great Lord's power. Yep. So the only way to open it up is to place the Lord Vessel, so it's going to be a hot minute before we do that. There's a seal down in the Demon Ruins, and there's another one down in the Tomb of the Giants. So you can only get so far in those places before you have to come up here. Alright. Yeah, you can tell one of those not one of those a mimic just from their shading. Yeah, this one's not a mimic. Chain curled away, safe to open. Twinkling Titanite, we'll take it. Chain curled our way, it's a mimic. In fact, we're going to throw a... Ooh, we got lucky. Symbol of Avarice and the Crystal Halberd. Yep. Alright, come out of the corner. Can you bleed? I'm not sure if mimics can bleed. I'll have to check that. I think they can, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we got lucky there. We got the Symbol of Avarice. Yep. Every time you use the Lloyd's Talisman to put to sleep, there's actually a chance for this to drop. Again, you can get it eventually if you kill all the mimics. The last one will guarantee you to drop the Symbol of Avarice, but since we got it early, we may not be able to get another one. Well, we still can. It's just gonna be a rare drop. Yeah, very good physical defense, except for strike. Very weak to elementals. Monster head resembling a treasure chest. Once an ancient god, it is said this is the symbol of shame imposed on a long-lost clan, exiled for the sin of avarice. Wearing this slightly raises soul absorption and item discovery, but also affects its wearer with the curse of the branded. I think you do get, 20% more souls. It does stack with the silver serpent ring. It does double our item discovery rate, but will not stack with the gold serpent ring. So you can't have both the gold and this thing on to have more discovery rate. But It does drain your HP. It's a constant drain. I think it's a lot. It'll kill us pretty quickly. It's like 5 a second. So, use with caution. Use with caution. Yeah, like that was a lucky drop. Oh, and here's a statue of Executioner Smo. Again, Smo, Smog. I call him Smog. Alright, yeah, we'll go rest up. Might as well. Just top off our health, top off our spells, then we'll go down. Alright. Go. It's like the little screw elevator. There's the gargoyle. I'll be right back. Alright. Sorry about that. I had to use the restroom real quick. I tend to do my business before I sit down, but I guess I wasn't ready. Anyway, as I was saying, gargoyle. Gargoyle number 2 of 3. And again, the last one's on the other side of that little bridge. Okay. So should be any other gargoyle fight. I'm gonna try to take his tail out for another tail cut. Oh, excuse me. Alright, gargoyle. Ow, okay. There we go. Off. There we go. Ooh. We got the halberd. Again, it'll be a guaranteed drop if we got it. Well, from the third one for sure, but I love the gargoyle halberd. It's probably the best, in my opinion, it's the best weapon in the game. That's because you can buff it, unlike the Black Knight halberd. So I am going to run back down to Andre, get this thing upgraded. It's already pretty good out of the box, although it is pretty hefty. Halberd of the Gargoyles, guarding the Bell of the Awakening of the Church. Perfectly standard bronze halberd without any special power. Not true. I think it does boost our poison and bleed resistance, I think. But alright. I want to get that upgraded, so I'm going to run all the way back. So I'll see you all in a moment. It's going to take me a few minutes to get there. Alright, I might as well just show you this little thing. Yeah, again, if you want to go down, just talk to the guy. we're back to Zen's Fortress. Not many people see that cutscene in particular, because they don't really come back down through the gargoyles. I mean, the demons. So, if you want to go back up, just examine the ring. But I'm going to go upgrade my halberd, so I'll again be right back. Well, when I come back, I'll be up in Anor Londo. Alright, I'm back. Yes, they went all the way down to Andre of Astora and got the halberd upgraded plus 10. Yeah, it is a very strong weapon. It's a quality weapon, but it's still very strong. Right now, its base damage is 309. It's a lot. But again, it's a halberd, so it has good reach. It will have a stumble if you miss something, but we'll probably use it next episode, maybe, question mark. But, yeah. So the bridge is up. Can't go that way. Gonna have to go this way. Gonna have to drop down. Before we go up the stairs. Come around for a chest. Again. Curled away, safe to open. Tight Knights, lovely. Now this. Okay, I think this will take you back up, where you can actually get back onto the bridge. Yeah. Although, do we have to drop down, or could we just, gone this way? Alright, so you didn't have to drop down, you could just, gone around. Oh well. Anyway. Yep, so the only way forward is to go up these little buttresses. Well, this one in particular, anyway. Yep. We got some rooftop hopping to go through. Come up. Ooh, almost missed that. So, yep, there's a broken window, but you can't break windows. So someone came through and broke this window for us. Painting Guardians. Yeah, if they have their shield out like that, they can parry you. Yes, unlike the player, you can parry their jump attacks. They can drop their weapons, their Painting Guardian knife or sword or whatever it's called. And they can drop throwing knives at a pretty regular rate. So, no, you can't get their armor set. You have to actually pick it up in the painted world. Alright, here comes the dangerous part, where I will probably fall to my death. In fact, let us swap out our pyromancies. Best to stay off unlocked. I mean, sometimes you can get them to do their little jump attack across this little gap here and they'll fall to their deaths, but they don't like doing it all the time, so. Alright. Kick the chain, or you can hit it with something. Drops the chandelier and the item on it. Just be careful, you do back up a little bit if you get hit. if you do block their throwing daggers, you will get knocked back a little bit. So again, just be careful. Get you to do your little jump attack. There it goes. And splat. All right. Statue of our goddess, Guinevere. We want to go this way. I am not going to attempt to jump across. You can make it, but you might need to be light load for that. Alright, so before going through here, we're going to... Actually, I'm going to try and jump across. Just be safe. Jump across. Through here. There should be a painting guardian on, I think this stairs or the other one. Yeah, I can hear him. There he is. For another chest. Curled away, safe to open. And a divine blessing. Kind of helps signify that this is Guinevere's like little cathedral. Or building, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so there might be another painting guarding on these stairs. Yep. Alright, so there's painting guarding on both stairs. Good to know. Now we traverse the white lights. Yep, now we have the bridge. Alright, but before we activate the bridge, we are going to do some cheese. We're going to cheese that gargoyle. Ah. Where are you going? Yeah, that's what I thought. We got the gargoyle shield. Final drop for the gargoyles. I don't like doing that to the gargoyles. It only works because your spell's cast above your head, so it'll clear railings and whatnot. Actually, before we turn, let's take a quick peek. We got some more sentinels at the top of the stairs. Batwing demons on the ramp. There's actually some more over there as well. Actually, all the way down, there's that little doorway down there. So which means this thing goes down pretty far. There's also that little doorway there. You can see more into the little city. But it's all quiet, all pitch black. There's the Duke's Archives above. So now we can go back that way. We can move forward. Or we can go down into that little cathedral on the bottom. We're actually going to turn it once more. Go down even further. Okay. Now we can go that way, or we're going to go down. Yeah, there's nothing on the little turn thing. Yep. A little bonfire and a little mausoleum. I think it's the right word. Statue of Gwyn and a whole bunch of like little graves, tablets, whatever. I'm assuming these are the knights that went with him to link the flame, who got turned into the Black Knights. That's what I'm guessing. Got the bonfire, which I will kindle at least once. Over here we have Ring of Sun's Firstborn. A ring that boosts all miracles by 20%. Lord Gwyn's firstborn, who inherited the sunlight, once wore this ancient ring, boosts the strength of miracles. Lord Gwyn's firstborn was a god of war, but his foolishness led to the loss of the annals and rescinding of his deific status. Today, even his name is not known. So his son was a fool, but a brute. All bronze and no brains, apparently. But, yeah, so there's actually more to this room. That is an illusory wall, but not a normal illusory wall. Striking won't undo it. There's only two ways to undo it. The first way is to lift the illusion on Anor Londo. That requires beating Ornstein and Smo. The other way, which we can do right now, is to equip the Dark Moon Seance Ring. Dark Sun Gwendolyn is the only remaining deity in Anor Londo. His followers are few, but their tasks are of vital importance. So we put this on. Bam. The illusion disappears.
Halt! This is the tomb of the great Lord Gwyn. Tarnished it shall not be by the feet of men. If thou art a true disciple of the Dark Sun, cast aside thine ire. Hear the voice of mine self, Gwendolyn, and kneel before me.
The Dark Sun Gwendolyn, and here's this little, I won't say like icon or emblem.
O disciple of the Dark Sun, thou hast journeyed far. Hear my voice. If thou shalt swear by the covenant to become a shadow of Father Gwyn and Sister Guinevere, a blade that shall hunt the foes of our lords, then I shalt protect thee, safeguarding thy person with the power of the Dark Moon.
So is the Dark Sun, or is he the Dark Moon? Or is the moon the Dark Sun? I don't know. Yes, we'll join. Why not? Blue Eye Orb, Dark Moon, Blade, Covenant Ring. Now we're part of the Blades of the Dark Moon.
Very well. Now thou art a blade of the Dark Moon, hunteth the enemies of the lords by the power of the Dark Sun.
Alright, so we can offer souvenirs to upgrade our rank in the Covenant, which we will do eventually. We're already in the Covenants, and that's it. Alright, so now we can hunt down the people who have sinned. And from Oswald's little Book of Sin. Where is it? Did I get it? Well, here's the Blue Eye Orb. Invade World of the Guilty Player. Yep. Acquire Souvenir of Reprisal. These mystical orbs are granted to Blades of the Dark Moon, knights who serve the Dark Sun Gwendolyn, so that they may serve the gods in meting out vengeance. Alright, so I don't have the book. Oswald sells the Book of the Guilty, which I think allows... Does he sell the Book of the Guilty? Or does he sell, like, pages, you know? But anyway. Use the orb to hunt down guilty players. Players who have committed sin that are in the Book of the Guilty or stuff like that. Who had a page used against them. So you'll become like a blue sentinel kind of thing. To hunt down players. Oops. We've got a Dark Moonblade. Answer Dark Sun Gwendolyn summoning. Yeah. Ring granted to those bound by the Dark Moon. Gwendolyn, all too aware of his repulsive, frail appearance, created the illusion of a sister Guinevere, who helped him guard over Anor Londo. An unmasking of these deities would be tantamount to blasphemy. Yep. So yeah, the one ring, the Seance ring, saying that Gwendolyn's the only one left, and this Covenant ring says that Guinevere is an illusion. Yeah. So. So yeah. Alright, let's get our stuff back. Yeah. So yeah, there's a big little secret just kind of unveiled if you read items. Alright. Rest real quick. Quick level up. More health. Alright, so now let's make our way to the painting. Yeah, this episode ain't going to be very long. It's mainly this little front part of Anor Londo. Well, the rest of Anor Londo is going to take a while, because it's actually pretty... I don't want to say that long, but... Yeah, this front part of Anor Londo is not... There's not much to it. A few enemies that you can avoid. The rafter part was probably the worst of it, but we were lucky enough to get through that on first try without falling. This part is actually also pretty dangerous just because there's a lot of enemies down here. There's quite a number of them down here. And it is easy to get more than one on at a time, so it's got to be careful. Loves throwing his little daggers. Yep. Wow. Actually, I can put on our bow here. Hopefully, we can pull out one at a time. We don't want more than one of them on us at a time. I will tell you that. So. Yeah, I knew we were going to heal. Again, just be careful when they pull out their shield, because then they'll start parrying. And you don't want that. Are you just gonna do this as well? Wasn't sure I was in range. Okay. Come on. Get backstabbed. I'm gonna aim for the far one so the other ones turn towards him so they don't accidentally aggro on us. Oops. I wanted R2 just to be quick. Oh, I want your weapon. Although I could probably put on the gold serpent ring. There are like 2 or 3 left. Thank you. So we will put on the serpent ring just to see if we can't get the weapon. Come on, stop. All right. No weapon from you. Sad. Go over here to get this, which is a great magic weapon. Yep. An upgrade to our magic weapon, sorcery. It's just a better magic adjust scaling or better multiplier against our magic adjust for more magic damage. So, to be honest, I don't think we have enough intelligence to actually use it. Thank you for bugging out there. Oh. But we did get a soft humanity, so I'm not quite sure if it's Ornstein Smo that does it or if it's Priscilla that does it. I don't quite know which one is which. I think it's Ornstein Smo. So. Right. And here we have Black Iron set, Black Iron Great Shield, and Great Sword. This is what became of Black Iron Tarkus. Thank you, good sir. Trying to remember where my things were at. You get double suns because you're awesome. All right. And do I want anything else before we go into the painted world? Because once we go into the painted world, we can't really go back out until we go through Priscilla. Upgraded my weapon. I got the magic weapon. Yada, yada, yada. I think we're good. All right, let's go. Examine. This only shows up if you have the peculiar doll. Yep. Once was an abomination who had no place in this world. She clutched this doll tightly and eventually was drawn into a cold and lonely, painted world. So now we touch. Painted world of Ariamis. Yeah, there's no way back. And that's why they put up little signs in the museums that say, "Don't touch the paintings." Very, very foreboding. Hollows on spikes. And we got a crow. Alright. This bonfire will definitely light up twice. It's the only bonfire in this painted world, and we're definitely going to need it. Kindle once. Kindle again. And final time. Okay. All right. And with that, I will call an episode. Yeah. Made progress, but didn't do a whole lot. Bought the final spell from Big Cat Logan, so now we don't have to worry about him moving on us. Greg should still have a spell left. We definitely want to keep him having a spell left. So just, yeah, because we need him to keep his spells. He needs to have one spell left so he stays at Firelink. So when Logan moves, we can get more spells from Griggs. So, and after that, we went back up to the top of Sen's Fortress, where we interacted with the Ring of Light and got ferried to Anor Londo, City of the Gods. Yep, big place, pretty empty. Yeah, it's pretty empty actually. Few Royal Sentinels, Gargoyles, Painting Guardians. The only person up there was the Bonfire Keeper. The Dark Moon Nidus is what she's called. Yeah, she's the one in the brass armor by the bonfire. Yep, there was a couple of chests. One mimic, which was kind enough to give us a symbol of avarice. Again, every time you throw a Lloyd's talisman at a mimic, there is a chance for it to drop the symbol of avarice without killing it. So it is a way to get multiples per playthrough. So as long as you keep one alive, buy a whole bunch of Lloyd's talismans, throw them at the mimic over and over again, and you'll probably get one or two from a whole stack. But we were lucky enough to get one, so that's all we need. It also gave us a crystal halberd. It's a regular halberd along the crystal infusion path. Where is it? Here it is. Yep. Yeah, very fragile, 20 durability. It cannot be repaired. In order to repair it, you have to actually upgrade it. So it is very strong, but again, no repairing, and it's only got 20 durability. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Not unless you have to. Not unless you have to. Although I wonder if the repair sorcery will work on that. I'll have to give it a try. So we took on some sentinels, showed that the path to the Duke's Archive is blocked by Gwyn's power, took down the elevator, took on the first gargoyle of the area, cut his tail, another tail axe, and he dropped us the Gargoyle Halberd. Probably one of my favorite weapons in the game. In my opinion, probably the strongest weapon in the game. So that's just my opinion anyway. Yeah, the main reason I think it's the best is because again, it's the halberd class. Pretty decent stat requirements. Definitely a lot lower than the Black Knight halberd. So a lot of people consider the Black Knight halberd probably the best, but yeah, 16 and 12, while the Black Knight's like 32 and 18. Yeah. This is a regular Titanite path, so the upgrade materials are kind of easy to get. Although this requires twinkling, and if you know what to do, you can get enough twinkling titanite to upgrade this fully. So, but again, but unlike the Black Knight halberd, the Gargoyle halberd can be buffed with magic weapon, resins. So that's I think that right there is the key difference in why I think this is the strongest, at least stronger than the Black Knight halberd. It's also lighter, though it's less durable, but anyway. That's just my opinion. But so once we got the halberd, ran down to Andre, upgraded to +10, came back up to Anor Londo, hopped on the buttress of the local cathedral, went through a broken window, took care of some painting guardians, did some rafter walking on the top of the cathedral. Got a divine blessing. Cheese, the last gargoyle who gave us the shield. I forgot to look at. Yep. Bronze shield of the gargoyle guarding the Bell of Awakening in the Dead Church. The gargoyle's skin is tough by itself, and perhaps its shield may have been a prop, for it is a rare example of a metal shield that does not reduce physical damage 100%. Yeah, it's only 85, but it does have some solid fire and lightning negations. So don't discount it. We got the Black Knight, Black Iron set. Very good fire defense, fire negation, great shield, very good. Yeah, built of special black iron and even heavier than the Knight Brandique's tower shield, especially resistant to fire and effective for shield bashing. Yeah, great shield of the mighty Knight Tarkus. I think it's down here. There it is. Helmet of Black Knight Art Tarkus, built of special black iron, providing strong defense, notably against fire, but so terribly heavy to be unwieldy to all but Tarkus himself. Yeah, very heavy equipment, but very solid defenses, particularly physical and fire. The leggings and the gauntlets are probably one of my favorite in the games because it's so stylish. They go with a lot of stuff. They also got really good poise and physical defense. They upgrade with Twinkling Titanite, so we can fully upgrade them once we get through Anor Londo. But Cheese, the last gargoyle got a shield, activated the bridge down all the way. You can lower it twice, so we lowered it twice. That allows us to go to the very bottom where there's a bonfire and a mausoleum of sorts. Got the Ring of the Firstborn, which boosts miracle damage. And then we put on our Dark Seance Ring, which lifted the illusion of the statue of Gwyn, which revealed apparently his tomb, which is where the Dark Sun Gwendolyn is at. The last deity of Anor Londo is down there, guarding his father's tomb. So we didn't go in. We kneeled before the boss fog. Entered the covenant with the Dark Moon. Got the Blue Eye Orb and the Dark Moon Ring, which allows us to be summoned by Dark Moon Gwendolyn. I think if we have it on, we will be summoned to other players in the dark version of Anor Londo. So yeah, at least I think anyway. I don't really do PvP or online all that stuff, so I'm not certain on that stuff, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens. So did that. Ran back up the bridge to the top, went inside the lower level of the cathedral, picked off painted guardians one at a time, grabbed the great magic weapon, picked up Tarkus' armor and weapon and shield, and we came in here to the painted world of Ariamis, where we boosted our bonfire here, the only bonfire in the area. So definitely recommend boosting this if you can. And that was it. That was it. Made progress. Well, made progress. Didn't do much, but did some good stuff. And next episode will be the Painted World of Ariamis. This one might take a while because there's a lot to this place. It's also pretty dangerous. There's some crow demons which are pretty strong. There's bone wheel skeletons in a narrow passage, which is very, very dangerous. Probably get us killed. Because I don't have a lot of stamina and I don't have access to a great shield. So, or I don't have the strength to wield a great shield. So that could be a problem. But it is definitely worth trying to get through all the nooks and crannies in this place. There's some really good spells. Or there's pyromancy, pretty good pyromancy. Well, I won't say it's good, but there's a pyromancy here. Armor sets and weapons. Undead dragon, a pretty good soul farming spot. There's an ember. Undead dragon, some more nightmare neeks. Quite a number of stuff in here. Quite a number. But anyway, again, that will be for another episode. And I thank you all for watching. Which one is it? Okay. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.